Hey guys, how's it going? It is week 2 of our profitability and scalability mastery series. We gave some great seller hacks last week. We heard from Andrew Mapp and Chelsea Cohen, as well as Lee Laurie, talking about all the different ways that you can really maximize profitability in your e-commerce business. So this week, I'm very excited about what we're going to continue in this series. We're going to talk about the most important steps to take when expanding your product lines on Amazon, and Jon Tilley is going to tell us about that. And then we're going to talk about how can you increase your visibility on Amazon to reach more customers. And we've got Mina Elias coming and talking to us about PPC and advertising for that. And then we've got Matt Kostan talking about what are some creative ways to drive sales and growth for your brand on Amazon. So I can't wait for this. I think it's going to be really great. Without further ado, let me turn it over to the experts.
All right. Thank you, Amy. As mentioned, I'm Jon Tilley, the CEO and co-founder of ZonGuru. It's an operational tool set for you as sellers to use day-to-day to help you scale as a business. Now, today, what I'm going to cover in the next few minutes is really around the steps and the strategies and the most important things to do when expanding your product line. There's many different things you can do. We're going to talk specifically about looking at data and how to use data to really look at the opportunities in terms of expanding your product line. Now, the thing that we're going to talk about most is the Product Opportunity Explorer report, which is available inside of Seller Central, but also we have a report that we've created within ZonGuru across every single category in the Product Opportunity Explorer report field. So every subcategory, every leaf category, we've got data that we can share with you that is important when making decisions around expanding your brand. So I'm going to talk a little bit to the strategy of that and then give you an opportunity to get hold of that report yourself. So I'm just sharing my screen. I won't touch too much on this, but if you don't know who ZonGuru is, we have about 18 different tools connected across various Amazon marketplaces globally. And we have operational tools in the research part, which we're going to talk about today, as well as SEO, including the world's first ChatGPT integration, alerts, financials, reviews. If you want to check it out, I'm sure you'll get an opportunity to do that. But let's jump in. So let's talk high level to the strategy of expanding on Amazon. Now, clearly, there's two big ways to do it, right? One is global market expansion, and we have tools like the Global Niche Analysis Report and various tools to help you with that. But when you're expanding markets, you have to be ready as a business to clearly expand into those markets and understand what that opportunity is. So that's number one. Number two, it's about expanding your product catalog. And these are some of the steps you can do to increase that product line. Number one is let's start to look at data. There's many tools out there to help you look at those. We have certain tools in our business like the Niche Finder, which will really help you to identify niches and understand from a business perspective, what is the opportunity of that niche and what are some good product ideas. And we look at that at a business level. So using our niche radar, which is a very important piece of rating an actual niche. Chrome extensions, historical tracking of competitors and niches, some other tools that we have like love, hate, or even keyword tools that you can use to really dive in on a niche and understand the depth and potential of a niche, right? So these are all different ways that we use a bunch of tools to find and identify niches and then validate them for product launch and for brand expansion. But the one we're going to really talk about today is, this tool called right down here, which I have down here, called the Product Opportunity Explorer Rollout Report. We just call it short. We call it the BEAR report, which is brand expansion analysis report, which is exactly what we're talking about today. Now, what we've done, just to high level theorize this for you, inside of brand analytics, you can get access to the Product Opportunity Explorer report. What we've done is, but it's only for your niche, right? So what we've done is we've collated every single niche across Amazon, subcategory, leaf category, and we've put it into a database and visualize that in a report that you can get access to. Now, importantly, that report is only available to our enterprise clients. Typically, agencies or aggregators use that report on a quarterly basis to analyze their brand's niche or their client's brand's niche, and come back with recommendations about how to expand that brand into other subcategories or leaf categories that fit and make sense for their brand. I'm going to show you that exactly today. And by the way, you'll get an opportunity, through Amy to get access to that report, even if you're not one of our enterprise clients, which is pretty cool. Okay, so it's a 14-page report. I'm going to show you this as we go through, and I'll jump in and show it to you live as well. And just really, it's 14 different views at a more technical level that will help you to identify and understand niche potentials. And we have a pretty deep training video to help you with that as well. Okay, so I'm going to take a case study example here. Let's say my product is a dog tie-out steak. That's my product over there. You can see the subcategory it's in is dog training and behavior aids. I've obviously theoretically done well in the dog tie-outs and steaks, and I want to understand, hey, what could I expand my brand into? What are some other really cool niches within dog training and behavior aids as a subcat or leaf category? I can even go out to dog supplies or pet supplies if I want as well, and pull that same report, right? So I'm going to do it at the dog training and behavior aids level and show you what that looks like. So this is the report. It comes back, and again, we have 14 different views. I'm not going to highlight all of them, but here's a few of the views that we give you. So this first view we give you is the total revenue by niche. You can see there's products in here like wireless dog collar that has 29% of the revenue for everything in that category. Anti-bark devices, these are all electronic devices. So you can see how that breaks down in all of these niches. And the one that still has, it looks like 1.9%, right, of the overall revenue for that niche, which is still significant. Dog agility training equipment, that stands out for me. If I have a dog training stake, maybe some agility equipment to help the dogs train or train better might be interesting, right? So that might be a good one that I picked out. Maybe I can differentiate a little bit more than that. So just looking at that, that's the one that stands out for me. And the others make up 22.4%. I'm just watching my time here, just to make sure that I don't run too long. Let's just have a look here. Great. And so this is search volume, similar kind of story. You can see dog agility training equipment right over there with some search volume. So then we come up with a niche score analysis. So what we do is, remember when I said we actually look at how, what are the business questions we need to answer to be able to ensure that a niche has got good potential. We need to assess, the overall demand for that niche. We have to look at the competition. How strong is it? How much money capital we need to invest to get into that, and then how much margin potential, revenue potential we get from that. So that's how we rate all these niches, and they go for every single niche from left to right. Dog agility training equipment actually comes up with a decent score. Anything above 200 is pretty decent, right? And as it scales down below that, they're not as good opportunities. Market value and top 5 brand share. Now, again, you can get this data right out of Product Opportunity Explorer. You can just go in there inside of Seller Central and look at that. We've just visualized it in a different way for you to look at, right? So, this one here, you can see dog training equipment. It's about $1 million in overall niche potential, and about typically 70% of that market share is owned by the main competitors. So it's not too saturated. Typically, sometimes that could be up by 90%, and that might be an indicator not to go into that niche. So far, so good. This will give you search volume and search volume growth. And you can see here for dog agility training equipment, it's decent search volume, and search volume growth is positive, which is a good sign, right? So it's a growing niche, which is great. Based on some of those, now we have other ones in there. We actually show you how many successful launches happen in a specific category or niche, and how many of those are not successful, right? So Amazon deems successful, I think, is doing over $10,000 a month for 6 months, around that number. And so you can see that in a bunch of other views, and a recommendations view in that as well. And I'll show you that in a second. So this is, if I just look at the competition, this is our niche score that we have across that category. It's not a bad niche score, 71%. It shows you, obviously there's opportunities for bundling here, ways you could potentially differentiate the products. If we went into that, we might recommend it and say, hey, you know what, come up with your dog agility training equipment and figure out other things that you could bundle with it, carry bags, maybe a treat pouch, and maybe even a dog training app subscription, which, you can get in there, and it will be a PDF around that as well. So these are some interesting ways that you could differentiate a product and take that, into the marketplace. And, based on that, you have about a 13,000 launch budgets, and even a potential monthly revenue of around 13,000 on average. So it could be more, right? So this could be a great expansion of a brand product line within the category that you're in. Now, again, this is available for any single category. And how you can access that is literally, we have this at the enterprise level, but we'll give you this page, zonguru.com, get Amazon-brand-expansion-analysis-report. Sorry about the long URL there. But if you go to that, you can fill out your details there, and we'll literally send you one of these. I think they're worth about $200 each. We'll send you one for free in the category that you select. And then you can have a look at it and dive into it deeper with your actual subscription. So that's the way that you can actually, get in and actually use the reports. And then I'll just show you what it looks like quickly. If you go over here, this is for a different category. This is for sports and outdoors, but you can see every single one here. You can also see the ones we recommend, and you will literally be able to click through and see every single view that we just talked about for any category that we mentioned. So that's available as well. And the page looks like this. And we have a really deep video from our CTO here, which actually shows you each of the pages and what to look for on each page of the report, what's good, what's bad, and how to do that. And that's available right on the left-hand side as well. So I hope that's really helpful to the group here. Again, when you're expanding your product line, there's many things you need to look at. You have to be at the right phase in your business with a certain amount of capital. But if you are looking at it, understanding the data and what data is available from Amazon, from software providers, and knowing how to analyze that data to be confident in what you move forward in is absolutely critical. The data is there, the opportunity is there. You just have to have the data to unpack it. So that's us again. Check us out if you want to check us out. Again, we have some really cool, cutting edge, exciting stuff like the ChatGPT integration into content creation, and also we have traffic dashboards, session conversion percent, and a whole bunch of other tools to check out. Hope you enjoyed it. Cheers.
Hi, my name's Matt. I'm the co-founder and CEO of ProductPinion.com. And in this video, we're going to go over some creative ways to grow and scale your Amazon business.
Yay, Amazon! Yay, Amazon!
The best way to grow and scale on Amazon is by getting customer details so that you can actually talk to them, build other products with them, and figure out what they want so that you can create more sales, more revenue, more products that resonate with your target audience. The challenge is that on Amazon, as you know, you don't get the customer's details. You don't have their address anymore. You don't have their email. It's a very difficult way to keep in touch with customers. So my number one tip to get customers on Amazon is by using a product insert. Now, here's the thing. I know what you're thinking. Hey, Matt, product inserts, nothing new. We've been doing them forever. And in some cases, people are saying that, product inserts are not allowed. Let me just clear some stuff up for you. So number one, product inserts are allowed on Amazon. What you can't do is ask for a review or say, hey, get in touch with us if there's anything wrong with the product, so you don't leave a negative review. Just don't mention reviews on your product inserts. If you think about big companies like say Sony will have like a product registration insert where you can register for a warranty. Amazon's not going to go in there and tell Sony, hey, don't put that insert in. So you can do it too, but you have to be creative about it. And what I like to say is you want to create what's called the perfect insert. And the perfect insert is an opt-in, not just for a warranty or an extra video or an ebook or anything like that. That's way too simple. Customers aren't going to opt in for that anymore. Instead, what you're going to want to do is have them opt in to get like another product, another physical product that's simply irresistible for them to say no to. So as an example, there was one company that was selling baby shoes, and their opt-in was actually, if you put in your email address and your shipping address, they'll ship you for free a pair of flip-flops as well, right? If you're doing that, then, oh my gosh, of course people are going to opt in. You're going to see opt-in rates of 20, 30, 40. I've even seen 50% of customers opt in from a product insert card based on an offer like that. Now, if you're wondering how can you afford to do something like that, well, here's the trick. What you want to figure out is a product that's related to your main product that will fit inside an envelope. So if you can fit the product inside in under about 2 centimeters or about an inch, then the shipping on it is just a postage stamp. So that way shipping the product isn't that expensive. You may be able to find a product that's around $1 or so. Shipping is another $1. So in total, your cost to get that customer data is about $2-3. Now, if you're thinking like, wow, that's way too expensive, I can't afford $2 to $3 per customer, think of it this way. If you're advertising on Google or Facebook, companies will gladly pay $2 to $3 just for an opt-in as an email address opt-in from a cold lead. In this case, for $2 to $3, you can get somebody to actually give you their customer details, including their address. So you have their email address and their shipping address for about the same, $2-3. So again, product is about $1, shipping's about $1, add in another $1 for fulfillment, the envelope, that sort of thing. That's unreal. Now, once you have the customer's details, then you've just opened up a whole ballpark of what you can do and a lot of fun that you can have with them. And this is where things get really interesting on how you can grow and scale the Amazon business. What I like to do is once I have customers' emails is actually create a Kickstarter campaign. So Kickstarter allows you to basically ask for money before you've actually created a brand new product and basically be able to get customers' opinions and feedbacks on the product you're creating before you actually release it. So the chance of success is that much higher. And what I've also noticed is once you start doing these Kickstarter campaigns to create the new products, and you don't have to create something from scratch, you can create a variation, you can create it obviously has to be new, but it doesn't have to be like you're reinventing something from scratch. And once you start doing that, you get a lot of attention. I find my Amazon store actually starts getting a lot more sales. I start getting press mentions. It's so much easier to get mentioned in the press when you're doing a Kickstarter campaign. And that's just one other way of how you can launch launch your Amazon products using first Kickstarter to get people excited about it. The other cool, interesting thing with Kickstarter is, like I mentioned, is you're raising all the capital up front. So you don't actually even have to have your order placed before you actually do this. And I was able to, during the pandemic, for example, where travel accessories, nobody was buying travel accessories, that's my niche, I was able to create a product that did over $100,000 in sales, all based on having that email list of products of customers who bought a product from me before, and they were happy to help the Kickstarter campaign for the new product. Now, keep in mind, while you're doing this, you can always test, and testing to me is absolutely key in figuring out what resonates best with your customer. If you've never done any split tests with your products or listings, or if you've never asked shoppers just, hey, what do you think of my product? You're leaving money on the table. And you can do this testing obviously through Kickstarter, because you're asking people like, hey, what do you think of this product? What do you think of this idea? But there's a lot of tools out there that can help you do that. So for example, if you're coming up with ideas for that perfect insert that we talked about earlier, you can actually run those through a software tool like productpinion.com and figure out which offer will resonate the best with your target audience. Once you have an idea of which offer is the better one, that's the one you try, and that's the one you'll start measuring to see how many redemptions you will get. The other interesting thing you can do if you're using a tool like Product Pinion is you can actually run almost like your own Kickstarter. If you didn't want to go onto the platform, you can actually do that with your own audience as well. So for example, you can for free ask your own audience in an email, hey, these are some options I'm thinking about of a new product. Which one do you like best? And the other thing you can do is after they do the poll, after they select which options are most relevant to them, you can then take them, have Product Pinion take them to a page to actually give them a coupon, give them a discount on a current product you're already selling. So again, what you can do is ask your audience, once you have their emails, you can ask your audience for their opinions, and then you can also make money by asking their opinions by saying, hey, as a reward, here's 10% off my current product line. So it's a win-win scenario. And what you'll also find is when you involve your audience and you're actually asking them questions, you're involving them in the creation and how the brand is going to be formed and shaped, they're that much more loyal. They feel that much more attached to you. I have customers that have bought stuff from me from years ago, And no matter what product I put out, they're happy to either buy it themselves or promote it because they feel like they were a part of growing the brand into what it is today. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some interesting ideas to grow and scale your brand on Amazon. Thank you so much.
In this video, I want to cover how you can increase your visibility on Amazon to reach more customers. My name is Mina Elias, the founder of Trivium Group. Trivium is an Amazon advertising agency, and I've been helping brands get a lot more traffic, impressions, visibility, all of that stuff to their brands, to their listings, and I'm gonna show you exactly, all the things that I cover. So, first of all, let's kind of understand how things work on Amazon. There's a basic funnel. We launch campaigns or whatever. We show up in the organic rank, and that drives impressions. Impressions are people seeing you in the search result. So, the first thing I want to cover is how to increase the number of impressions. But now that you have impressions, the second part of that funnel is a certain percentage of those impressions will convert into clicks and sessions, and that's your click-through rate. And so obviously getting more percentage of people who are impressions turn into a session is very, very important. And then a certain percentage of the people who are sessions convert into customers. That's conversion rate. I'm not going to touch too much on conversion rate, but I want to focus on how do I drive more impressions and more sessions to the listing. Now, first of all, let's touch on ads. Two types of ads that can help you drive traffic to your Amazon listing. Number one is standard pay-per-click, PPC, sponsor product advertising, sponsor product, sponsor brand, sponsor display. And the second one is DSP, which is Amazon's demand side platform. So we'll cover PPC first. With Amazon PPC, what you can do is you can launch campaigns to drive traffic to your listing. Those campaigns can be single keyword campaigns, multiple keyword campaigns. They can be product targeting campaigns. They can be category targeting campaigns. They can be sponsored video, all of that stuff. So the first part of driving more traffic to your Amazon listing is launching more campaigns. Now, important is track the number of impressions that you're getting. So establish a benchmark of how many impressions you're getting right now, and then launch more campaigns. And if you notice that your impressions are going up, you're on the right track. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to get more sales or more people coming into your listing, because that's going to depend on click-through rate, conversion rate, which I'll cover in a bit. But at least you are tracking your impressions, and you know that that's going up. So first thing with paid ads, to get more impressions, launch more campaigns. Again, you have broad phrase exact keyword targeting campaigns. You have auto campaigns, close match, loose match, complements and substitutes. You have category targeting campaigns and product targeting campaigns. Then you have sponsor brand and sponsor display. All of those launched will drive more traffic to your listing. What can you do to launch? First, you can do keyword research. You can go to Helium 10, take your competitors, put them in Cerebro. What I like to do is put some settings, minimum ranking 7 out of 10 competitors. I would do at least 150 searches a month or more, and then do a maximum rank of 60, just to make sure that we're not getting keywords that all the competitors are ranked like very low for. And now take the intersection of those keywords. Those could be my starting point. I like to do auto, close match, loose match, complements and substitutes broken up into 4 different campaigns. Product targeting, I will take all of my competitors, target them. I'll take complementary products, target them. I'll take newest arrivals, so I'll type in my main keywords on the top right. I'll click, instead of sort by featured, I'll do it sort by newest arrivals, and get those product targets. And then there's also expanded ASIN, which basically is like broad targeting for keywords, but for ASINs. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take those keywords that I'm targeting, launch them, and then wait. And in the search term report, like let's say a week later, you'll find keywords, search terms that converted profitably. So for you, profitably could be 30%, 40% ACOS, 20% ACOS, or it could be 80% ACOS if you're going pretty aggressively. And so going into the search term, identifying profitable search terms, extracting those, making sure that they're unique, you're not already targeting them, and then launch them in their own campaigns. And that will result in an increase in impressions and hopefully an increase in sessions. Now, the second thing that can also drive more impressions and more sessions to your listing is your organic ranking. So track all of your organic ranking. What I would do is those same keywords that we came up with in the beginning to launch campaigns, you can go into Helium 10 keyword tracker, add your ASIN, and then add those keywords and then track them in Helium 10 keyword tracker. And then from there, monitor your organic rank. And if you want to influence organic rank, what you can do is do a single keyword campaign, one for broad, one for phrase, one for exact of that keyword, and then spend a lot of money on it. And what you'll notice is that organic rank will go up, and you'll get more people coming into your listing and more impressions coming to your listing by having a higher organic rank. And so, paid will be great because it's PPC, it's driving more impressions and more sessions, and then organic will drive free sessions, so you're not paying for them. And so, you have PPC, you have organic. The third thing that we are going to touch on in terms of, driving impressions and sessions is Amazon's DSP, demand side platform. Now, you need an agency to run this for you, so you have to get in touch with an agency and hire them. They have to have their own DSP seat. Make sure that they have their own seat and they're not using a different platform, because they're using a different platform, they might have to charge you, 3 to 5% as a fee of all of your ad spend. And obviously as the ad spend grows, that's going to be a lot. So reach out to that agency, and what you can do is you can start building funnels of targeting audiences. So you can target people who've viewed you can do retargeting, people who viewed your product but haven't purchased from you or your competitors. You can do people who've viewed competitors' products but haven't purchased from you or your competitors, and you can start targeting those people. Now, that will also show you the number of impressions that you're getting to your listing. And as long as you're tracking impressions on the DSP platform and sessions on the Amazon platform, you can actually see that if there's an increase in sessions or not. And so we've covered Amazon PPC, Amazon Organic, Amazon DSP. All of that is great for driving impressions. Now, let's cover click-through rate, because I want to touch on it quickly before I wrap this video up, because click-through rate is going to determine how many of those impressions turn into sessions. Sessions is a unique Amazon accounts coming into your listing or unique visitors, and that's what really matters, because once they're in the listing, there's a chance of them to convert. So what are the factors that affect your click-through rate? Number one, it's your main image. You have your price, your reviews, and star rating, your title, coupons and deals, the speed of your shipment, and then any badges. So those are all the factors that affect your click-through rate. Let's talk about optimizing them. With your main image, which is one of the biggest levers that you can pull, what you can do is you can put a sample of your search result of your product versus your competitor's product in a software like Pickfu or Product Pinion, and you can ask people to give you feedback on which product they would click on and why. And then once you understand why people are clicking on your competitors or not clicking on you, you can go and update your main image. You don't have to actually change your physical product or your label, but you can change different things in your main image so that it shows and makes things more pronounced that sell your product better. So if it, for example, is a 28-inch cooking pan, make sure that you highlight that it's 28 inches instead of them having to figure that out because they don't know. Maybe put in a very large steak in there, something like that, so things like that that you can get creative. And then once you have a new main image, you can again retest without ever going onto Amazon. You can retest through polls, and then once you have a winner, you can then test that onto Amazon. Now, price, it's always worth testing price. Just make sure that you're tracking click-through rate and conversion rate. If you're tracking click-through rate and you have on average in the last 7 days 0.25% click-through rate, and then you change the price, drop it by $3, notice that you have now a 0.3% click-through rate, then you know that that was a successful experiment. Reviews, self-explanatory, always try and get more reviews. And if you're on the cusp, if you're a 4.2 or a 4.1 and you need a 4.3 so you can be a 4.5 star, like in the image, then I would strongly recommend that you put a lot of energy and resources to go from that 4.1 to a 4.3, because that's gonna greatly improve your click-through rate. Then from there, besides the price, there's also coupons and lightning deals and discounts and things like that. So try using that and see how your click-through rate gets affected. You should be tracking everything in an analytics sheet. So as long as you're tracking, you're gonna understand the true impact. And then finally, you have the shipping speed, which I have to touch on quick. If you're FBA, you're fine. But if you are thinking about doing FBM, people will get turned off very quickly by the fact that they're gonna have to wait 5 to 7 days for your product versus getting it in 2 days. So make sure that you're taking that into account. If you have an FBM listing and an FBA listing because your FBA is running out of stock, that's gonna hurt your performance as well. And then finally, we have badges, Amazon's Choice Badge and Bestseller Badge. There's not too much that you can do to influence that, but if you are ranked number 1, 2, or 3 in your subcategory, or if you can switch to a different subcategory because it's easier to attain the number 1 position, I would do that, because once you get the bestseller badge, we do see a huge spike in sales and in revenue. So that's it for me. Again, guys, my name is Mina Elias. You can find me on LinkedIn, Mina Elias, or on Instagram at the Mina Elias, founder of Trivium Group. Our website is triviumco.com, triviumco.com. If you want to get a full free audit of your account and campaigns and listings and a consultation on how to improve everything, visit the website, get a free audit. But thank you guys. Hopefully this was useful. And if you have any questions, I'm always happy to help.
All right, that was really, really great. So many really awesome hacks and tips for maximizing profitability and scalability in your e-commerce business. I know I'm going to apply some of those techniques for my brands as well. I hope you guys found this super valuable. Let us know if you have any questions. We want to hear from you, and we will be following up in the following weeks with more great hacks to maximize profitability and scalability. Thanks for watching. See you next week.